You know what? I wasn't expecting it, but that movie was really good. Extraordinary is about Rose Dolly, who used to work with her dad as a paranormal investigator, kind of like Scooby Doo. Can't wait for that Scoob movie to come out. Something goes wrong on one of their investigations, and the dad ends up dying. So now she is like, they flash forward like a couple of years, like 10, 20 years later, and now she just teaches people how to drive cars. She doesn't do that paranormal stuff anymore. But along comes Mr. Martin Martin and his dead wife, who always haunts him every day, him and his daughter. And if that wasn't bad enough, his daughter ends up being possessed by Will Forte's character, who is like some one-hit wonders 70s pop star, and wants Martin Martin's daughter to be a sacrifice for some demons so he can become not a one-hit wonder, probably a two-hit wonder. He just wants to get his music career back on track. And that premise alone is like wacky and kooky. And when I saw the trailer, I was like, this looks interesting. It looks like it could be funny. I did have some worries because it is a British movie. It's a British comedy. And I don't always get British comedy because they do it differently. I know some people are going to be like, it's comedy, it's all the same, you either get it or you don't. But I feel like British comedy is a little bit different, and I'm not saying it's bad, but they do have a difference in how they execute their humor. And I was a little bit afraid that I was not going to enjoy this movie as much. But I have to say that while there is some scenes and some pacing issues, overall I enjoyed this movie. You can tell that the people that made this movie had fun too, because there's like a whole bunch of references of The Exorcist, Ghostbusters, and other horror movies. And I don't really know, I must have missed it, but I don't know what setting this movie is in. It seems like it's in around maybe the 70s or 80s, especially because of Will Forte's character and how he's like a pop star, and the kind of music he's doing, it seems like it's kind of like new wave ish. So I'm thinking it's maybe in the 80s or late 70s. You can tell that the director of this movie are fans of those 80s 70s horrors, because like I said, there's like, they pay homage to that in this movie, and they do it in a fun way that makes you think that it's their own and they came up with it. But they even do talk about that in here. There's like, Martin Martin's character will be saying like, "Oh, it's like Ghostbusters," or "Oh, like The Exorcist," or like Poltergeist. Right? That's what it is. And I think all the characters in here are really fun in their own way. Like I said, Will Forte's character in here, he's the bad guy in here. He's the one that is trying to look for these virgins to sacrifice so he can get his music career back on track. And just the way that he goes about things is just hilarious. I mean, you're not rooting for him, but you kind of want to see him succeed a little bit, because you kind of like, I want to see what that album would look like after he sacrificed this person and basically like sold his soul to the devil, and him doing his incantations and just the way he delivers it. It's hilarious. But this movie does have some lacking scenes, I'll say. There's just some scenes where they're doing the jokes and it just doesn't really land for me, at least. I noticed in American comedies there's like some music background in the background while the comedy's going on, and they're delivering their jokes. I don't know if that's the reason why it didn't really flow for me, because there's no music in the background. It's like literally silent, and they kind of do this dry, awkward humor. And I don't know, maybe it was because it was just too awkward, or it was just too dry for me, and I didn't get it, because I was like, what she's saying is funny, but I'm not laughing. I don't know what it was. It was just weird. That's probably the only thing that I think that brings the movie down, that hinders the movie. But it is a sizable chunk of the movie. It's like in the middle of the movie, it kind of comes to a screeching halt, and for a good, it felt like 30 minutes, you're just sitting there like, okay, the movie's going, but it feels like nothing's happening. But the end of the movie, luckily, is amazing, and it speeds up a lot, and the jokes keep coming, and everything comes to the climax. And like I said, there's a whole bunch of stuff happening in a good way. It just makes you forget what happened prior, because we don't want to remember that. But yeah, guys, that is extraordinary, not extraordinary. But yeah, guys, go check out Extraordinary if you're into that British comedy horror stuff. This is definitely right up your alley. Me, not so much, you know, it was kind of lagging, but I enjoyed it for what it was. But what did you guys think of Extraordinary in the comments down below? Let me know what you think. Are you into some British comedies or horror? Did you think this stacked up to it? Did you didn't like it? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to check out my Twitter so you can stay up to date with my channel. And as always, guys, keep watching movies.